And we are live. Final video I will be doing of the weekend, most likely. Maybe I will drop a quick picks, quick thoughts, quick snippets of my thoughts on upcoming bets that I didn't cover. The bets that I'm more confident in, I did drop videos for, even though Yoshiki Takai, Christian Medina, closer fight, possibly than the odds have it lined. But I still think the idea of getting Takai with all of the scenarios that we have going on with Japan specifically at plus money by knockout, I guess I'll take it, no doubt. Hands History Vault, what's up, my man? I hope you're doing well. OG of the community, for real. Hope to see you in Johnny's live. Johnny's live too. Dude, okay, I was going to wait for people to get on live and ask if they've seen my boy. He hasn't. It's actually, I'm not making this up. I'm actually worried. Me and Rush have a great relationship. Me and Jay, we talk legitimately open communication once a day minimum. I talk to him. I'm not making this up. This is how many texts I've been sending him because I'm legit worried about my mate. Like, he hasn't posted on YouTube. He hasn't posted on Twitter. It's actually worrying me. I'm not just saying this. So if anyone has a way to try to contact Sean Moody, I hope you're doing well, friend. Canelo over Crawford. When I get a few people on, I'm just going to read my notes. I have a full page worth of notes in my phone and on my hand scribble too. I'm just going to read everybody my notes from the jump, and I'll let you guys make your own opinions on it. But yeah, I'm legitimately worried about my boy Jay from Rush Hour Fight Club because he hasn't been posting on Twitter. He hasn't gone live. If anyone was going to live stream the Ola Squaga fight, if anyone was going to do it, it was my boy Rush, and he didn't do it. So I'm legit worried. So if anyone has any way to reach out or figure that out, I would love to know, just because, Jay's not just someone I do a stream with. That's someone I consider like my brother. I really fucking love Jay. So if anyone has a chance to reach out to him, man, I hope my boy Jay's good. Israel exposed the heavier bud. Billy Moneyline, let's go. Boss Marbs, what's up, mate? Hope you're doing well. In a 10-round fight, I'm playing it two ways. I'm taking the Billy decision plus 290 on FanDuel, and I said it in my prediction. I'm sticking to my guns, baby. I'm taking the draw plus 1,600 on BetMGM. I'm taking the draw. I probably can get it better at a better odd live, but I have the theory that Lester could drop him early and Billy could win later rounds. So taking the draw, sticking to my guns there. Small play, $20 on a plus 1,600, and I have $50 on a Billy decision plus 290. So pretty happy camper about that. Hopefully you guys got the cash with the Ola Squaga under 8.5. That was a hell of a call, mate. Ola Squaga under 8.5. Ola Squaga 1 through 6. Ola Squaga 1 through 3. I'm pretty pissed. I did Ola Squaga under 8.5. I did Ola Squaga 1 through 6. I did Ola Squaga 1 through 3. And I did Ola Squaga round 1. But I didn't do the smart thing of doing round 1, 2, and 3. Blonde moment by definition. Had a super blonde moment by definition. So, but Billy Moneyline, the more I think about it, the more I lean on it and sit on it, the more I lean towards Christian Mabili. The experience, the fight versus Raiko Santana years ago versus Lester Martinez definitely gave me some pause when I was checking out the Raiko Santana Steven Nelson. So, yeah, bro, I had a great night last night. I have zero complaints. I had an absolutely great night. According to Pickett, I'm not great at tracking units, but according to whatever my unit is tracked on Pickett, it says that I went up 9 units. So good night for me. I'm very happy camper. But if I would have gotten that round 1, because I put a $25 bonus bet on it to win $625, I haven't bought in a game system ever. I've never bought in a game system. I'm not a gamer. And I've been wanting to buy an Xbox for a hot minute just because I want to play Undisputed and play a little bit of NCAA. So I literally told myself if Ola Squaga would have got that round 1 knockout, that would have been my Xbox money. But hey, it's all good. Maybe next time. I'm gonna get one of these round props one day on some screw it stuff. I'm very excited for that. So, but if you guys are here, please feel free to let me know your thoughts. If you guys would like to discuss any fights that maybe I have any thoughts on. If you guys want me to read my notes too for Crawford Canelo, I can read all the notes I have too as well. I actually have a small, what I call fuck it parlay right now. It's I'll show you it right now. The first leg of it already hit. It was Anthony Ola Squaga under 8.5. The second leg is Raiko Santana, and the third leg is Inoue 7 through 12. Super small, nothing crazy. $21 to win. If my fanatics would ever load, $21 to win $358. So, you know, small little fun parlay. It does have Raiko Santana. Guys, if you guys have Fanatics stateside and you're going to play Inoue 7 through 12, you have to take it on Fanatics. You have to. FanDuel, shout out to my boy, the Dogfather, for legitimately like, dude, you just have to take that bet because it's a great bet. Inoue 7 through 12 on FanDuel, plus 100. Inoue 7 through 12 on ESPN Bet, plus 120. Inoue 7 through 12 on Fanatics, plus 200. Legitimately. 1 second, mate. I'm trying to get my phone to load up for y'all. Yeah, I put just a little 50 banger on it. Plus 200, got a small boost on it at plus 220. And then I'll be going it back in on the Inoue 7 through 12 at some point throughout the weekend. I'm just trying to figure out what book will have the best line. So what are some of your guys' favorite bets of the week? What are your guys' thoughts here? Let's talk about it here. I'm just going to start reading too as well. I'm going to start reading my thoughts on what I have for Canelo and Crawford. So this is just my thoughts on Canelo Crawford since the biggest fight of the week. I decided not to drop a video on it because you can scroll down the YouTube timeline and you will find 300 plus videos of Canelo Crawford prediction. And every single one of them will be different for their own reason. So yeah, people keep saying that, but I'm not going to lie. The tape of what I saw of MJ, I was not as impressed as the reputation proceeded to be. And one thing, I can't get over this. One thing I'm big on when I'm taping fights. Who have you fought in lately that's going to prepare me for my next opponent, right? As we know with Inoue, of his last 5 opponents, he's fought in Neary, Doheny, even though Doheny, Topalis, and Kim fought him all 4 rounds in Southpaw. So Inoue's been getting nothing but rounds at Southpaw. Overtraining does worry me a little bit, but let's take into the consideration that Japan could be stopping these fights a little bit earlier. And another thing I hate too as well is the one thing that does worry about me is MJ, the fact that he gets stuck on the back foot and he may just be willing to survive. I don't think MJ's as good as everyone makes it seem. I really don't. The tape did not impress me as much as his reputation preceded him to be. Inoue should come in better than ever. He needs to win the fight. He needs to win to fight Junto. The only thing that worries me is overtraining and MJ legitimately getting stuck on the back foot to where he will just be okay with trying to survive. The best thing is MJ's feet aren't great. They're not bad, but they're not great. And there are moments where he'll get stuck in neutral corners and his back flat to the ropes. And as we know with the monster, if there's anyone we can bank our money on that will start letting their hands go and going through the gears, no one shifts through the gears like Naoya Inoue. Not a fighter on planet Earth goes through the gears like Naoya Inoue. It cracks me up is the TJ Doheny fight when I was taping that fight, which of course I watched. If you guys don't know, my dog's name's Inoue. So Inoue super fan, which he's actually chewing this ball, annoying the hell out of me. Go get it. Go. So, anyways, my bad, y'all. He was chewing me, which was annoying the hell out of me, so had to throw that away. So, with this fight here, what was my thoughts? MJ getting stuck on the back foot, Japan stopping fights early, no one goes through the gears like Inoue does. Bang, that's essentially where I was. No one goes through the gears like Inoue. The minute it starts going downhill and he needs to start putting the gears through, he does. TJ Doheny, I felt like for the first 4 or 5 rounds of that fight, he legitimately slept through those first 4 or 5 rounds. He took the first 4 or 5 rounds off. And it's almost like round 6, he came up and he's like, oh shit, I'm in a fight. I need to beat this dude up. And it was crazy. Just the way it went from gear 2 to literally turn it up to 4 and then eventually 5 when he needed to get it done. I do think Inoue is just past his prime. I don't think he's in his prime anymore. I know that could be an unpopular opinion, but I think he's just past his prime. We're starting to see that with the shell of him getting dropped, him being a little bit more vulnerable. Granted, he's fighting the best of the best at all time. And another thing to note, too, I think Luis Neary is a way bigger puncher than MJ is. I think Luis Neary is a far bigger puncher than MJ is. MJ's body may have the stature to make him look like a bigger puncher. But when it comes to who has the bigger pop, I think Luis Neary by a country mile is the bigger puncher. And I wouldn't say Topalis, but Topalis probably has similar pop. And Inoue had no problem with the power of either of those guys. So. All right, y'all. Let me know if my connection's good. My computer keeps saying my connection's coming in and out too. So this is my thoughts on Canelo Crawford. I'm just going to read all of my notes from my phone because I sent them to my buddy, so I transfer them from my notepad. Tail before the tape. Judges, DeLuca and Cheatham. Weisfield, not really much of a worry is my opinion here, but both of these judges highly favor control time and proper efficiency as compared to volume and aggression, and I think that's super important in this case. Canelo will be the higher valued fighter when it comes to the promotions. The Mexican fan base is going to be loud, and I think for the AMSR optical reason of it, I think that's also important for when he lands. It will most likely be louder than the Bud crowd will be. Age and activity. Let's just be honest here, guys. I mean, active-wise, Canelo, there's no question who's the younger fighter, as we know statistically, just because he's a younger fighter, and who's been more active, and that's been Canelo. Crawford, on the other hand, has been fighting once a year, essentially. Hasn't been in the ring for coming up on, 13 months when it comes to this fight, and he is the older fighter. He's the older fighter. The sports science aspect of it, I can't get over the sports science aspect of it. Canelo has been fighting at 168 and up to 175, pushing and pulling, getting moved around by all of these fighters consistently for years now. For how many years has he been at 168 to 175? For what, 4 or 5 years? And he has dealt with fighting 12 rounds with this much weight, shape on his lungs and under his legs. We have never seen Bud Crawford. It doesn't matter what he walks around at. It doesn't matter what he trains at. We have never seen Bud Crawford fight 12 rounds at this weight. Not saying he can't. The fact is it's the unknown. It's the true unknown of it, y'all. So if we don't know necessarily how he's going to look at this weight, it does caveat and it does make me question a little bit. It does make me question just purely based off the sports science of it. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see because it keeps saying my Wi-Fi is going out. So I'm trying to see if this live's working. Can you guys let me know in the comments if my live is working or not? If you guys can hear me, because it keeps saying it's going in and out. All right, here. Now let's talk about the actual tape of it. The actual tape. My bad, y'all. The actual tape. My bad, y'all. No, it looks like I'm fine. Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Cool. All right, so the actual tape portion of it, man, as we know, I mean, I'm going to tell you guys things that everybody knows. So this is just real quick tape thoughts. Best switch hitter in the game is Bud, not even question. No one switches between offensive and defensively so fluidly from orthodox and southpaw like Bud does. No one throws as many jabs as Bud does. He's so responsible when he exits and when he enters offensively and defensively. He can fight from multiple guards, high guard, shell guard, Philly shell. He can catch and shoot. He can pull and counter. He can do it all, man. His punch variation is incredible. Great punching mechanics. His head moving is lacking, but he has a super tight and responsible guard. And again, he can switch styles defensively. He can switch styles mid-fight, which I love. You saw the Porter fight. He was a counter puncher to start off. Then after he got cracked a few times, he turned into an offensive bull and started pushing Porter. Against Madrimov, he tried to bully Madrimov early, saw that the weight wasn't going to work in his case. He switched to a counter puncher mid-fight and then a volume puncher in the later rounds. His shots are short and crisp with minimal tell. He's vulnerable to the right hook versus an orthodox fighter when he's fighting out of the southpaw stance, and he eats more shots to the body when he's standing in an orthodox stance. I don't know why I noted that twice, that he can fluidly switch up twice. But yeah, he can fluidly switch, as I said. PJ, what up, mate? Marv and Mark, thank you guys very much for confirming that my audio is still good. Canelo, as we know, head movement, S tier. Lower volume, but I think he's a higher efficiency puncher. He'll punch anywhere and everywhere. Go see the John Ryder and the Charlo fight. Doesn't matter if you're guarding up and shelling up. He's going to punch through your arms. PJ, I'm discussing my notes on Canelo and Bud Crawford right now. Just the notes I have since I'm not dropping a full preview and prediction. If you would like to as well, I can send you my notes because I have them copied and pasted. I can send them to you on Twitter since you missed the first half of them. So what I'll do is I'll send them to you on Twitter right now, mate, or right when I get off. So my bad, Canelo. Head movement S tier, lower volume, higher efficiency, plotting feet, but he's great at cutting opponents off. Even against William Skull, I don't think it was a big of a deal as everyone wanted to make it seem when it came to cutting off William Skull. Vicious body puncher, hooks and shovel variation, some of the best shovel hook and hook variation I've seen to the body. He's vulnerable to the left hand versus southpaw is extremely vulnerable to the left hand. Inside game is a lot stronger, in my opinion, than Bud. And again, the size with the inside game will match up. His inside left uppercuts that he breaks through the guard with are money. One of his best punches, in my opinion, one of the best inside guard uppercuts in the game. Controls the pace of the fight, and he doesn't allow to fight outside of his pace. Besides maybe the Bivol fight, we really saw the pace get pushed on him. Again, guys, I'm not doing tape anywhere past the last 4 years or 5 years. So don't bring up a fight from 2019. Just don't do it, please. He's a physical bully, covers range extremely well with his right hand. And he turns He turns his opponents into his left hand. My apology. I said openers. Need to edit that. He could be frustrated during fights, especially when he's getting poked with the jab. And as we know, Crawford pokes with the jab. He throws 4 to 5 punches in combination when he's violent, and when he throws 4 to 5 punch combinations, he's very violent in his intentions. He could be a stationary target because he trusts his head movement so much. Does Canelo have one of the greatest chins ever? Strong possibility, honestly. Combat Sports Today, Red Corner Boxing. What up, my boys? You already know. Big C's, my guy. So my final thoughts on the fight. My final thoughts, y'all. If this fight was between 2 fighters at the same weight class, I would take Bud at dog money 6 times on a Sunday, 28 times a week, every day. The issue that I cannot get past the sports science of it, the weight of Canelo, the fact that the promotional money will be behind him, and that the judges are going to favor Canelo's style of fighting far more. All of these things amount to way too much of a mountain to overclimb. Bud is going to have either a knockout or a perfect, in my opinion, a perfect minimum 9 rounds to beat Canelo to overcome the surmountain mountain. Who do I think is the more skilled boxer? Clearly, I think it's Bud Crawford. I think Bud Crawford could do it all. I worry about the age. I worry about the fact that he can age overnight, and no one ever seems to talk about that, especially when it comes to boxers. Shout out to my boy David from Sharp Betting in UK. My boy David showed me something called the 28 age cliff. Look at even Arthur Beterbiev. At 38 years old, he stopped getting knockouts, even though it's only been 2 fights. But just a point to be made. At 38 years old, that's where the cliff really hits for boxers. I think there are way too many things that are insurmountable for Bud Crawford to win this fight. I'm not putting any money on this. I want to be very clear. I have one fucking parlay that has Canelo by decision, but I'm not putting any real money on this, y'all. So this is not my financial advice. But if you're asking me who I think wins this fight, I think it's going to be a Canelo unanimous decision. Why did I stutter so bad? Holy shit. I think it's going to be a Saul Canelo Alvarez unanimous decision. I can see a split decision, but I think it's going to be Canelo by decision. And even if we see some fuckery involved. So I just think it's a lot of mountains to overclimb, man. So Canelo UD for me, but Billy knockout 9 rounds, Walsh split decision. I'm worried about Vargas never going past 6 rounds. Now it's a 10-round fight. But the Callum Walsh fade will come soon. I'm not overly high on Callum Walsh. Mabili, I've said it time and time again. I'm going to continue to say it. I'm taking the Mabili Lester draw, and I'm taking Mabili decision. Those are the 2 ways I'm playing it. But honestly, man, the way Lester lost his shape and got dropped multiple times late by Raiko Santana definitely worried me. Canelo UD for me. I'm going to be honest, Hands History Volt. I want to enjoy this fight as a pugilist. I want to sit back and I want to just enjoy 2 pound-for-pound greats that, regardless of what you think of their recent shape, recent form, this fight, whatever you think, these guys are 2 pound-for-pound Hall of Famers. And I just want to sit back and I want to watch the chess match. I want to watch it without any, because what you guys don't know is I worry about my predictions I drop. I say I only have, bro, even for a small channel, I worry about all the tape I crack. And if I look dumb as hell when I'm getting dropped. After Yankiel Rivera didn't get that knockout, I was sick all Saturday night. Not because of the money I lost, but for the fact that I was so damn confident. And I know a few people tailed that bet because they showed me their slips. And it makes me sick. I don't want to go out, put an official prediction out, or put any real official money on this fight because I just want to watch 2 pound-for-pound greats duke it out. I want to have no thoughts on it, no green goggles, no bias. Now, that doesn't mean naturally that if I'm watching the fight live and I see something that I have to take, then I won't play it a little bit. But pre-fight, man, I'm just going to be a pugilist and truly enjoy it, man. So that's a big reason. I'm not either, but if I had to, I'd pick Canelo and draw. I think a draw is a good play, but dude, it's like plus 700. It's the lowest draw I've ever seen in boxing, like plus 700. It's insane. Same. Yeah, man. I mean, I just really want to enjoy this fight, not put any money on it. All the money to be made is in Japan this weekend. Mabili Lester's a good fight to make money. Raiko Santana could be a live dog, even though I think you could play that fight 2 ways. I think you could play Steven Nelson by knockout, 6 through 10. Or I think you could play Raiko Santana. Either way, I think that's good money, good hedge money. You get 2 plus either way. So happy camper there. I decided over a week again not to bet on the fight. See, smart man, Hands History Vault. Smart man. I just think it's a great idea. Let's just sit back and enjoy the pantheon of 2 greats go at it. Damn, my throat Itching. My bad, y'all. Suppose Crawford fight from the outside and get in and out, rob the bank, run the ladder rounds when he's ahead. I actually do think that Canelo is the better round manager. I think he's the better round manager. I think he has the better IQ of knowing when I'm up and when I'm not up. I honestly have an idea that this fight may be really boring, that this fight could be such a tactical chess match that we could get a lot worse of a fight than a lot of people are expecting. I have to be honest though, man. If Bud won, again, I think he's the better boxer. It wouldn't surprise me. I would just be what would surprise me is everything he overcame. And shout out to Narco Cop MMA. My boy Narco Cop, me and him were talking. If he wins this fight, does that clearly make him the greatest fighter of this modern era? Like, let's be honest. That is impressive work, mate. That's impressive work. And even though Earl Spence was Muscles, check Muscles. Yes, I did, brother. My boy, Muscles, check the Discord, mate. I sent you the notes. 1 second here, Muscles. Let me make sure that they actually sent to you, because my Wi-Fi's been hoeing me. Yeah, brother. I sent you all of them. So when you have a chance, Muscles, go check the Discord. If you did not receive them, I'll try to resend them again. I wonder, because you can only have so many amount of characters in a Discord. Not to me personally, you didn't. I did. I don't want to put all your stuff on blast, but I swear. I'm going to try to resend them right now. Let me resend them right now. It could be the characters. So let me recheck. If they come to you, let me know. If not, because Discord only allows a specific amount of characters. So I'll just send them piece by piece if that's the case. Hell yeah. Glad you got it, bro. My apologies. My bad it came so late. Again, my handwriting. Look at my handwriting, mate. It's complete chicken scratch. So I try to transfer that into my notes. It was absolutely insane. So, but yeah, I hope it's a boring fight so we can all take the over and cash out. I think the safest money on this fight is to go the distance. I think if you're putting a safe bet on the parlay, to go the distance has to be the safest money. I would be truly surprised if either fighter got knocked out. I truly would be. A knockdown could be a fun bet to play, but dude, I would just be, my handwriting is worse. I doubt that, bro. I grew up tagging. I used to be a tagger, and it's funny as my handwriting is just like that, just quick and to the point. Let me get out of here before I'm getting seen, So, but yeah, man, I just think Bud, that's just such a mountain to surpass and one thing, again, I can't get over this. This is the biggest factor to it, the infighting ring. I've never seen Bud carry around that extra 14 pounds for 12 rounds. How is it going to affect his cardio at the age of 38 or 37? It's something that I truly want to note. So that's just something to keep in mind, y'all. And like I said, I want to be upfront and honest with you guys. I won't be putting any money pre-fight on this fight pre. I'll be watching it live to see. We hit on the Olasquaga under 8.5, had a great play on that. I was super, super hyped. I already have the play on Inoue 7 through 12. Like I stated, I'm going to stick strong on my Inoue 7 through 12. All the pundits have got me a little bit worried, making me think MJ's a little bit tougher. But I think the problem either comes down to Inoue overtraining or MJ getting stuck on the back foot and not allowing himself to get teed off on. But I think Inoue finds a way like he always does. Yeah, that could be for the power, but man, bringing up weight. So real quick, this is just this is completely different. This is a different sport. This is grappling and wrestling, right? So grappling wise, when I first started grappling, I used to cut all the way down to, was it 141? I used to cut down to a stupid ass weight when I first started grappling at 141. And I did my last tournament. I did my first tournament at Blue Belt at 154 pounds. Didn't cut a pound of weight. And I just found this incredibly funny. It didn't make me feel any fucking stronger. It didn't make me feel any fucking stronger. And it's grappling, completely different sport, not at the proest highest level. It's dumb to compare myself to these guys, but it's just something when it comes to the sports science aspect of it. And over 12 rounds of boxing cardio, I'm curious how the extra weight is going to affect his legs, specifically his legs. How heavy will his legs feel? So it also too, it could be it doesn't affect him at all because Bud is at such a high level that it doesn't even fucking matter. Which, can I be honest with you guys? Who do I want to win? I would love Bud Crawford to win. I would love nothing more than Bud Crawford to win. it would be and that's why I'm watching the fight. Hopefully again, I say hopefully just in case of live betting with no money on it, because if Bud Crawford win, we'd be seeing some monumental shit. It would be sick. Like, I think it would be truly dope to see Bud Crawford win. So yeah, that's just on the Canelo Crawford my thoughts on that, man. I've kind of been rethinking my Takai prediction, because on my prediction, I did mention that the dog could be live. I did mention Takai could go to decision, but then I ultimately gave out the Takai knockout. And I've been rethinking that, man. I'm thinking, man, Medina's just one tough customer. I think I just have to take the Takai decision at even money. Maybe I'm chasing the juice a little bit too hard there. So, and I've decided Chilltown Boxing, I think, gave me the little extra push I need. When I was watching Boachuk versus Adams tape, I've decided I'm going to take a stab at Brandon Adams at almost 4-1 money. I've decided I'm going to take a stab at Brandon Adams at almost 4-1 money. I know he gets caught with his back on the ropes. I know he can get teed off on the body, but his Katsarakis performance, man, I went and rewatched it, and God, that was a close fight, man. I'm high on Katsarakis. And Boachuk, I can't get over this, guys. I know Michael Fox is a weird, awkward style, but his reaction time against Michael Fox did not look good. I think all that damage he took against Virgil Ortiz may have possibly caught up. So taking a small stab at Brandon Adams over Boachuk too as well. It was rumors are going around that Canelo had a knee injury. I don't know if it was true. Canelo in this case has never been a huge mover, thankfully. But I mean, knee injuries are always serious. I also like who Canelo sparred with in this camp, man. I mean, I don't know how many times he actually sparred with Boots and Yo-Yo. He may have only sparred with them once, but Chuck was winning every round before the KO. Absolutely. Yeah, he was. I went and rewatched it because for whatever reason, my brain had Boachuk. I always thought Boachuk won that fight. And that's because he won every round. And then the knockout looked weird, bro. Like, Boachuk stands so tall up, and he entered so predictably, just continuously entered predictably. And that's why he got knocked, man. That's why he got knocked. Boachuk's a good dude, man. Boachuk's a good dude. I like his personality. Yo, I'm going to start a campaign asking, where's Rush? Where's Rush? Like, genuinely curious where my boy Rush is at. So, but yeah, you guys, if you guys are here in the video, please feel free to drop a little like for your boy. That would be awesome. If you guys have any thoughts or any other thoughts or any other fights you want to quickly go over or get your thoughts on here, that if I have any on them. Honestly, man, it's been a busy ass week for me. Had an interview with Sharp Betting UK. Got to go live with my boys on the Big Brain MMA podcast yesterday to do a boxing show. Got to drop 3 videos back to back to back. And all you guys know that do tape, you guys understand how long it can be to tape 3 fights back to back to back, especially when they're championship fights. And a lot of these fighters are going 12 rounds. It can melt your brain sometimes. It's absolutely insane, like how these fights can meld together. And you forget you've even seen a fighter, right? Or you forget you've even heard of a fighter. And then you go and look at their box rec and you're like, I've taped this fight. And then all these flooding memories come back of how that fight went. And it's just like, dang, man. It's just insane how all these fights can meld together. All these styles can bend. Chuck can only win Chuck can win only if you don't get knocked out running in and out. He just runs in so predictably, man. He's so predictable. Adams can't outbox Chuck. His only way to that's a good point. I guess you're right there, actually. I think, PJ, you just made the best point. If I'm going to bet Adams, I have to bet him by knockout, or there's no other way to bet him, because that is truly his winning condition. So you just gave me honestly a smart betting tip, which I am going to sprinkle Adams. I'm going to sprinkle Adams by knockout, because you're 100% right. That's his winning condition. It won't be he won't be outboxing Boachuk for 10 rounds. You're absolutely right about that. He gets flat-footed, too stuck on the ropes. Doesn't hit the body early and often enough as compared to Boachuk, who we know is going to just smack that body, beat the drum early and often. So that's actually a great point, man. So I'm going to take Adams just by knockout. 3 weeks, Canelo rumored having a surgery, but I couldn't confirm it. Yeah, I want to know where these rumors. I'm going to be honest. I'm super cautious about the rumor mill ever since the Abraham Nova Raymond Ford fight. Thankfully, all my bets got voided on that fight. I was the one person that got saved by the books voiding that fight, because I had on multiple parlays Ford by KO. The tape told me that he could possibly knock him out. Just because I'm actually high on Raymond Ford. I would just like to see more gears from that man. I am high on Raymond Ford, though. The one thing is, you know, I heard those rumors about Abraham Nova, and man, I would have gotten smoked on that Raymond Ford knockout. The Boyd got super lucky for me. So, rumor he fell off a horse riding with Turkey. You know, I'm not going to lie, bro. That's one of those rumors that's so out there that it's damn believable. It's damn believable, man. These fighters are always fighting, especially at the highest level. I'm curious how much more injuries do affect these guys, man. Like, these guys are always fighting hurt. So that's one of those rumors that doesn't even feel like a rumor. It's just like, yeah, bro, we just fell off a horse riding with Turkey, and you believe it. Check out Nelson record. Didn't have a lot of good fights. Fighters he knocked out was trash. His record looks good. We're talking about Stone Cold Nelson, correct? I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think Stone Cold has had moments of looking really good. So I went back and watched his Pacheco tape. What was the 2 other fights I watched before that? If you guys are ever looking for different tapes, Daily Motion helps me a lot. I find them a lot on Daily Motion, the OK app, which usually has most of the same fights as Daily Motion. If you can't find them on YouTube. Another thing, too, is search the event that they fight under. If you search the event that they fight under, you can usually find full events and just have to cut your way through them. So just a few tape studying tactics. So his toughness versus Diego Pacheco was solid, but he got, you know, boring-ass fight, just got technically outpointed by Pacheco. Against the Rowdy Montgomery fight, dude, that dude was trash. I couldn't agree more. Not good. And he got tagged in the first 2 rounds pretty early against Rowdy. And then the other fight, which I guess I should kind of pump it off just because it was DeAndre Ware. DeAndre Ware's a tough cookie and been in there with some decent guys too as well. And DeAndre Ware was tagging him in the second round. So I agree. Nelson's record's padded. He's a Bomac guy. You know, I think he's more so known for being Terrence's sparring partner in this case. But I think Ryko could be a live dog. The issue with Ryko, he's hittable and he gasses. The way he loses his shape in fights worries me. But he did drop Lester 2 or possibly 3 times. One of them was counted a slip. That was actually absolutely not a slip. Ryko Santana versus Truck Simpson, which one thing we have to say against Truck, in the overtime boxing when he needed that 9th round, I thought he clearly won that 9th round. One of the judges gave it to Truck. He pushed hard in that 9th round, Ryko Santana did. So we have to give him credit for that, man. That is something that everyone talks about. Like, for example, I was talking with someone about Takai and how bad he gassed versus Jason Maloney in that 12th round. Takai's next fight versus Daigo Higa, he looked incredible in the 12th round. He's the reason he won that fight is because of his 12th round against Daigo Higa, where he had multiple moments where he, honestly, I was surprised. It seemed like Daigo Higa was going to get out of there. So these fighters can improve fight over fight. We can't act like just because we've seen one bad gas bag fight that they can't improve fight over fight. So that is important to note. And I thought, and Truck Simpson's someone that I'm actually pretty high on. I think Truck Simpson's a good boxer, mate. Ryko Santana's been in there with tough cookies, mate. Lester Martinez, Truck Simpson. There's the one more dude that I'm missing. I didn't tape the fight, but I saw the name on the box rec, and I was like, damn, dude's been in there with some guys, bro. Who was it? He beat Marquise Moore, which is a good win, too, as well, because everyone was high on Moore, and he was an underdog in that fight. Joseph George, another dude that had a pretty good record, wasn't overly padded, too, as well. So didn't watch the tape on it, of course. Don't want to mislead you guys whatsoever, but just some thoughts, man. I think Ryko, at the money that he could be a live dog. But I also want to say this. I also think you could hedge it with a Steven Nelson by knockout, because Steven Nelson does have power, and he has fought in 12 rounds. And if anyone has the cardio advantage, it's no question to me that it's Steven Nelson. Santana to come in to lose. He has no promoter, and this card is a Crawford card. This fight's pointing towards Nelson. I mean, see that he's being brought in to lose. I can see that. I didn't know that Santana had no promoter. That's a hole in my game. Thank you, Hansvold. Let's talk about a hole in my betting game. Hole in my betting game that I need to sharpen up is learning the back end of these fights, like the back end portion of these fights, who they're promoted by, where the corruption lies more so on this point of boxing comparatively to this point of boxing, who judges what fights. I did look at it for the Canelo Crawford fight, so I'm pretty happy I did in this case. But that is a shore in my game that I definitely need to patch. No doubt over the next year, I really hope to patch that point of my game, is finding out promotional back ends, promotional backings, things of that nature. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm so old school. I just turn on the tape. I crack the tape. I imagine how these fights can just put them together. What do you mean your parlay just went down the drain? That doesn't necessarily mean it, mate. Let me tell you, Raiko Santana can fight. And just because it has promotional backing doesn't mean much. Raiko can crack too. He's not a typical Cuban fighter. He comes in to meet you in the forward, and Steven Nelson will be the more technical boxer in this case, but maybe we get judges that prefer plotting over aggression than anything. Doesn't mean your parlay's down the drain, which is hilarious. Like I said, I have the under Olasquaga 8.5, Raiko Santana, in a way 7 through 12. So both of my fucking parlays this weekend actually have Raiko Santana, if I'm not mistaken. So also one of them has Jermaine Franklin, who we haven't seen enough from Ivan Ditchko. We know what we're getting out of Jermaine Franklin. We're getting a proper commodity. Who are you going to take at even money? The guy you know nothing about because he's a foot taller and he's fought in a bunch of fucking back-end gym bar brawlers? Or are we going to take the guy that's a known commodity that's been in there with real fighters that we know can go 10 to 12 rounds that will also stay on the body early and often? I'm going to put my money on Jermaine Franklin for sure. For sure in this case. I think Jermaine Franklin at even money is solid play. I don't know. So when I say a sprinkle, I usually mean, I guess you could quote like a point. I'm not great with units either as well. Like when I bet something I'm confident in, I'll usually bet around $150 on it to $200. Those are my confident bets. When I say a sprinkle, it's usually $25. And then when I'm talking about something like this, Jermaine Franklin, I'll probably put $75 on Jermaine Franklin straight. And if I like him more, go back in on him live. So that's kind of how I play. I only do parlays, very few and far in between, and they're usually only like $20 for like fuck it parlays. Well, there is good news. Nelson works for Crawford's Boxing Academy. He's a coach there, so he doesn't get a lot of time to train himself. So there's still some hope. And Nelson's getting older. Nelson's getting up in age, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he is 37 years old. 37 years old versus 32 years old, mate. And one thing about Raiko Santana, even though it's these small one-round fights, it's this man's at least fighting these table, TLC, TCL fights. He's still slightly active, mate. And that's something to get note of. So, hey, Ancestry Bull, you're the freaking man, bro. Thank you for giving me this little back-end stuff. Like I said, the holes in my game, you're helping me shore up. I appreciate you, mate. Why aren't you touching it, PJ? Can you give me your reasons why you don't want to touch that fight? I love hearing why people don't like touching fights. I'm not touching Walsh Vargas. And as I already explained, I'm not touching Canelo Crawford. 2 fights I'm staying away from. I'm going to enjoy Canelo Crawford as a pugilist. Too much variance, especially Southpaw versus Callum Walsh and Fernando Vargas Jr. I am not going to put my faith coming off layoffs. Plus, I don't know how his dad's. Okay, and I've talked about this live before. I like betting fighters after their parents' deaths, in boxing specifically. I don't know what it is about boxers and after parents' deaths. It's not always the case, but when someone close to them, it just seems like it gives boxers a little extra something. Not necessarily MMA fighters, but boxers for me. That's something that I've talked about this on a few lives before. So you've probably heard me, I'm probably essentially reverbing another thought that I've already said before. So it's other 2 live dogs, Adam, and it's another fight. Well, Adams, like I said, I think you put it though. We both got it. If we're going to take Adams, which I am, I'm going to put $25 on it. I'm going to take Adams by knockout. I think you kind of listed that for me. Let me go pull up these fights, mate, to see what is the other one. Dang, son. Let's see here. I didn't tape the Agyarko versus Davies fight, but I read someone's write-up on it that made me feel a little bit more confident in Agyarko. So I wouldn't be mad at a play on Agyarko. I think he's fighting for a lot too as well. He wants to be the first Black Irish world champion. And I think that's awesome, man. I think that's something that if I'm not mistaken, this fight is for a title eliminator next, or is this fight and a title eliminator? So I think he's fighting for a lot too, which is something important to me too as well. Callum Walsh. Billy. Yeah, I mean, looking, there's really no other. I mean, I guess Santana and Adams are the live dogs. Jermaine Franklin and Ditchko's an even money fight. I want to touch Travis Crawford versus Alakel. I mean, I don't even know if there's any money to be made on that. People say that Lester Martinez is a live dog, which I can understand. And there are people I trust and really appreciate that say that he's a live dog, even though I think that fight's either draw or mobility decision or pass. Not touching Callum Walsh versus Vargas. I wouldn't touch it with your betting app. I lean Canelo decision, but also not betting that fight whatsoever. Ryosu Matsumoto will no doubt knock out Uni Takada. I can't believe I love Japanese boxing, if you guys don't know. So I think Uni Takada will no doubt get stopped. So if you're a parlay chaser, Matsumoto at -260 for stoppage, I think is a great play. I also think you could do an alternative round bet too on it as well. Matsumoto will stop him early, rounds 1 through 6 at +155 is great on FanDuel. Great on FanDuel. Like I said about Takai, I slightly lean to knockout due to what's happening in Japan, and in a way gets him done 7 through 12. So everything I like. I think Davis might lose. Me too. I might pick him. He said to beat Davis Sass in sparring. I think he got an edge. Yeah, man. I think Aguirre at plus money, not a bad choice. And I like when fighters fight for something like that, bro. That gives me a little something extra to think like, damn, they're fighting for something bigger than them. What's up, brother? Just watching on Big Steve's channel. You're a sharp mind for the sport. Instant stuff. Alex, thank you, mate. Appreciate you very much, man. I'm good with boxing. Can't say the same for MMA, man. My MMA takes, got to stick with Big Steve for that one. So I appreciate you coming through. Hopefully you got to cash on the under Olasquaga 8.5 with us, man. We were very heavy on it. Like I said, man, he was going to get him out of there early. 1 through 3 was cash money, baby. I was a happy camper. So I appreciate the sub, mate. Thank you very much. All right, y'all. We've been going at it for about 41. We're going to go at it for about another 8 minutes or so. Then I got to get out of here. I got to get ready for jiu-jitsu, and I got to get some sleep because tomorrow is a busy, busy day. Holy hell. We got Crocker Donovan 2. Man, take the under in that fight, man. I think Donovan's going to get it done in more cleaner fashion this time. Crocker was giving out a lot of nervous energy at that at the weigh-in show. And Donovan, if he comes in, man, I can't believe we got that Donovan at plus money last time. I can't believe we got that money. That Dana White card, UFC card fucked me over. Yeah, bro. Did I message? Was it you that I messaged that I actually sent someone 3 for 3 picks and they didn't tail them? Which is hilarious because I still lost money on that card because everything needed Anthony Guskascari or whatever the fuck his name was. I needed him by finish. And he got smoked, mate. He got smoked. I played Mobility Moneyline hedge with Leicester knockout. See, I took the draw again, not to be on the fence. I really think Leicester can drop him early and Mobility can do enough to edge later decisions. I also like Mobility decision, but Mobility Moneyline hedge with Leicester knockout, I think is a good play. Hardest fight I've ever broken down on this channel by a country mile. Not even close is Mobility Leicester. Not even close. Watching the tape, it makes me cross-eyed. Some people are way more confident in Mobility than I could ever be. So Devon going to beat his ass. Yeah, bro. Donovan's going to beat the shit out of him, bro. I love the under. Do you think Martinez fight goes the distance? I have a play on the draw. And I like Mobility decision. Those are my favorite plays of that fight. So I'm more confident that fight goes the distance than it doesn't. Mar, my guy, what up? I'm not even just making this up. I was like, damn, bro, I haven't seen my boy Mar in a live. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well, man. Always love seeing you in the lives, man. You always have such great energy, Mar. Appreciate you always salute, mate. So yeah, man. And I know also too as well. I hope you guys are there for Johnny Says Boxing and Chilltown Boxing. They're live coming up here. I think it's in like an hour or so. So yeah, man, I'm pretty I'm excited to hear them talk it up. Two sharp minds. Johnny Says Boxing, Chilltown. Mar, if you missed anything, do you have any questions for the fights coming up that you would like me to answer or just give my thoughts on? I don't like saying like me to answer. I'm no teacher, but just thoughts in general. Yes, everybody took a loss on that card. It was pick dogs. Honestly, this week, man, the dogs could be barking on Dana White Contender Series. Let's talk about it over the week, PJ. I'm going to crack a little bit of tape on MMA. I'm super excited, like I said, for this boxing card, man. I'm going to crack this tape, and then on Sunday, I'm going to take a day to relax. I'm going to go see that movie, The Long Walk, and take some time, too. Whose write-up did you read for Agyarko? 1 second here. Sorry, mate. Give me 1 second here. Let me find this write-up. It was in a Discord. It was in a Discord I'm in. Let me search it. Agyarko. Sorry, y'all. I'm horrible when it comes to spelling names. I don't know what his actual name would be, but it's Swaggy R in Johnny Says Boxing's Discord. And I just really appreciated the breakdown that he gave. I don't want to read it because I don't know if that's me copywriting his thoughts. You know, I don't want to be read to that man whatsoever. So I don't want to copyright his thoughts or anything like that. But Swaggy P, he essentially said he got Agyarko. That he, just to break it down quickly, is he doesn't know if he's good or bad in the clinch, but he knows that Davis is horrible at cutting off the ring, and Agyarko will be more active. So got to give Swaggy R his respect and due. If you're seeing this, no copyright. It's from you, mate. Not my read. It's from you. I'll say that I think a draw play on Mobili is interesting, but a knockdown in that fight is likely, and it makes the more draw more. So this is why I don't think I think the knockdown makes the draw more likely. I think Lester can win 4 of these rounds with a knockdown, and I think Mobili, with his pace, pressure, and cardio, can win 6 of those rounds. That's kind of how I came to that conclusion. I bet boxing for a living too. Oh, sick. I don't bet it for a living, mate. Just so we're very aware, I have a full-time job. I do this for the love of the game. I do this for the absolute love of the game. I do pretty good boxing betting. This and MLB are easily my most profitable sports, and I'm a profitable bettor this and last 2 years in a row, but I am not a boxing bettor for a living. I don't want to give anyone the misinterpretation that I am. So that Olasquaga pick was spot on. Thank you, Mar. I appreciate you, mate. I hope you got to hit on at least the 1 through 6. The 1 through 3, I was so hyped that hit, man. What's your official picks for this weekend? Are you betting Noche? Though I'm going to take a dog stab on Diego Lopez. I didn't like the way Gene Silva looked at weigh-ins. Gene Silva has a habit of getting himself headfirst into a clinch. And one thing Diego Lopez does incredibly well are front chokes. I love his front choke series all the way around. Diego Lopez has toughness and he can fight for 5 rounds. And I think it's a big deal that John Silva has flown from one end to a country to another end of the country and cut the weight. These are all things that I think play into favor. I'm taking the dog stab on Diego Lopez. Official picks for this weekend. Naoya Inoue round 7 through 12. Naoya Inoue round 7 through 12. If you have Fanatic Sportsbook, plus 200. Easily the best market you could find it. Probably shouldn't be saying it on live, but hey, if we crash the market, fuck it. Fanatics plus 200 Inoue 7 through 12. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Officially taking Mobili Lester draw plus 1600. Of course, at a sprinkle, never too high of a unit. And then I like Mobili decision at plus 290 on FanDuel. Mobili decision plus 290 on FanDuel. And I also like Matsumoto, Ryosuke Matsumoto by knockout rounds 1 through 5. Rounds 1 through 5 on FanDuel plus 155. I think he gets Uni out of there early. Remember, it's Ryosuke Matsumoto. It is the 3rd fight on the Japanese card. I think he gets him out there rounds 1 through 5 on FanDuel. You can play it at plus 155. He stops him for sure. You should start making parlays for your channel. Mate, I'm not a parlay bettor. I only do, so I'll tell you guys, I'll actually show you guys the parlays that I have working right now for this weekend, just so I can be a parent. I'm a straight bettor, mate. I usually just put all my money on straight bets that I feel overly confident about and try to find a prop, but everything else is just very small unit, very fun, fuck it parlays. Give me 1 second here. So, for example, right here. So I got $50 on Inoue 7 through 12 at plus 220. And then I got 2162 to win 357.96. That had the under 8.5 Olasquaga, Raiko Santana, and also Inoue 7 through 12. And then I have one more on DraftKings. That's just a $20 bonus bet I had. 1 sec. I'll read that and then I'll catch up on all these. My bad, Joe. I'm not ignoring you. I just want to get this parlay out for my boy PJ. And then I put this on DraftKings. You know, I always want to be transparent with you guys. Like I said, I'll never give you guys some bullshit. I'll never tell you guys a fight that I never taped if I didn't. Always upfront and apparent. Then I have a bonus $20 bet. 500 to win 593, essentially, which is Ryko Santana, Inoue 7 through 12. Everything got Inoue 7 through 12. Jermaine Franklin, and even though I said I wasn't going to bet on it, it's a fuck it parlay, so I don't really count it. Canelo by decision. So that's Canelo by decision, Jermaine Franklin Jr., Inoue 7 through 12, Ryko Santana. A lot of unknowns there. Only thing I'm overly confident in that parlay in is I'm confident in Jermaine Franklin, and I'm confident in Inoue 7 through 12. So let me catch up with some of these comments. As I said, Lester reminds me of GGG. I don't think we'll have enough to beat Mabili. We'll see. I think the gears and the cardio and the pace and the pressure will come out to it. That wouldn't come out to a draw. If a fight was an odd number of knockdowns, then a draw would be impossible with a point deduction or a 10-10 round. Let me see here. Let me see if I'm dumb. 1 sec. Where's my pen? No, I have a freaking pen here. All right. 10-8, 10-9, 10-9. I'm literally doing math like a child here, you guys. This is going to be hilarious. The fact that you guys are going to see this. This is so funny. Forgive me, dumb American here. This is so funny. 60, 69, 78, 78, 87, 95. Boom. 49, 54, 63, 72, 81. You are right. I am dumb as hell. 95, 93. Yeah, I'm dumb as hell, and you are correct. So, 95, 94. How dumb am I? It doesn't matter, man. Dumb American. I just lost a bunch of live viewers from that horrendous math, so I apologize. But either way, though, I'm still going to take the draw because I already played it. I already sprinkled it. $20. You know, $20 at plus 1,600. Happy camper if it hits, mate. So, would you consider doing it for a living? I'm going to be honest with you. I've kind of set a little personal goal of mine over the next 18 months that I would like to not only build the channel, but continue to learn how to manage my bankroll and continue to build my bankroll to where I'd possibly like to do it for a living. I've had thoughts of possibly starting a Discord or a Patreon at some point, but I just don't know if I could do it yet, just due to the fact that I want to hone my craft. I want to hone my tape study. I want to hone the holes in my game that we discussed earlier about the promotional backings and things of that nature. But it would be a dream for me, man, to study tape for a living. It would be a dream for me. I literally work a 40+ hour full-time job, and I crack anywhere from 25 to 35 hours of tape a week. You think I wouldn't love to cut out 40 of those hours and just enjoy my life, spend more time with my dog, things of that nature? So it's definitely something I would absolutely be interested in. And I've been telling myself, man, because I started this channel, as we know, only 6 weeks ago, and 280 subscribers I'm very happy with. I feel like I've given out some really good predictions, and I just continue to hope to do the same for you guys. Mabili is confirmed to be a 10-rounder. It's confirmed via Zuffa and Netflix, according to the posters. Phenomenal stream with Big Brain MMA and Dogfather. All Squad Under was such a party. Thank you. Man, thank you so much. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. I appreciate you following through, too, as well, man. I had a great time chopping it up with Dogfather and Big Brain and Big Steve. Those dudes are hilarious. I did not know how funny those dudes were, man. I can't wait to do it again. I got my Billy 1,000%. Like I said, got the draw, but Billy decision. Feel pretty good about him. Lester got dropped by Santana. He got dropped by Santana technically twice. But Billy's going to beat that body up. Lester can possibly hold his ropes to the ring. Let me know if you ever want to chat about how to get into a higher level betting. I would love to. I'd absolutely love to. Mate, do we follow each other on X, or how could we get into chatting? What is your best way of being reached out by? Was that Twitter, X, Instagram? I mean, clearly I'm not going to ask you to give your phone number on a live or anything like that. Add me on Discord if you do. Oh, you're into Johnny Says, boom, I will. And it's just like it's spelled on I will absolutely add you on the Discord. I'd love to chop it up with you about that, mate. I'm always curious to learn about like-minded things, and I'm really just curious to learn about holes in my game, holes in my betting game too as well. So I've been gambling, on Bovada LV since I was literally illegally since I was 17 years old. I'm 29 now, 29 years old. So it's taken up until the last 2 years for me to have winning. As of right now, I'm trending towards the best year I've ever had, winning year. And last year I had my first real winning year where I sat there and said, man, I finally had a good green year. So I'd really like to continue that trend. I also want to get to a point where I actually start really tracking my picks. The one thing I love going on Twitter and posting the videos and my predictions from the videos is that I actually have the proof that I gave out that pick. It irks me when I see someone on Twitter go, Old Squaga under 8.5, check, but they didn't post it before. They don't have any proof that they gave it to anybody. Like, dude, you're just trying to punk motherfuckers. Like, that's just a random example. But if you don't have the proof in a video, if you don't have the proof via, a bet tracking site, if you don't even have the slip, if you didn't post on Twitter the post a day before or even a few hours before, mate, I just can't trust that guy. I just can't trust that guy because then at that point he's just being braggadocious and he's helping nobody. He's absolutely helping nobody. I cracked this tape for the love of the game and to give you guys free picks. Legitimately, like I just want to do this for the love of the game, man. Eventually, hopefully one day at a higher level too as well. So, I mean, I appreciate you guys. Ligor, if you would like to share your picks here in the comments, you absolutely can. It seems like PJ the Puppet Show is absolutely curious to know too as well. Anyone in the comments, is there anything you guys would like me to plug for you? You can comment it and I'll clip it in the comment itself. If you have your Twitter you'd like to follow, YouTube you'd like to have someone follow, your Instagram, anything like that. From the few viewers that are on here, maybe someone would like to give you a follow or a share or anything of that nature. Because I'm about to get out of here, y'all. I got an open mat to get to here within an hour and a half. And then I'm going to kick back, smoke a sack. I don't know, maybe not, but definitely go do that here. I got a lot of bets for the weekend. My biggest position is Canelo money line. I also have money on Santana money line, Aguiarco money line, Adams money line, Adams Boachuk distance. That's a great play, Adams Boachuk distance. Patty money and Patty money line in a lot of plays. In a way, over 8.5. In a way, over 8.5. Man, bet the house on Canelo Crawford under 60 seconds for the bets money odds. That's my boy Jeshua. One of the most active amateur MMA fighters in Arizona. Injuries have kind of kicked his ass lately, but this dude legitimately, I shit you not, had like 7 fucking fights last year. One of the most active amateur MMA fighters in the state of Arizona. What a dog. Love that guy. Inoue over 8.5. That's why I love Inoue 7 through 12 is because it gives leeway for the over. And I actually think Inoue stops him in probably the 10th. I think the 10th is probably where he gets it done. And the one thing is, man, is MJ can get stuck on the back foot and he could literally just fight to survive at some point. But I really hope Inoue, for my sake, gets it done 7 through 12. But yeah, just so everyone to see, again, I apologize. I clicked through that really quickly. I've got a lot of bets this weekend. Biggest position on Canelo money line. Also have money on Santana money line, Aguiarco money line, Adams money line, Adams Boa distance, Patty money line, and lots of parlays. Patty, I don't use the term free and/or lock, but yeah, it's like that, Donovan's like that. Aguiarco, I'm going to sprinkle. Santana, having a few parlays on a sprinkle. And I said Adams money earlier with my boy Hans History Vault and my boy PJ. We got to take it by knockout. We're going to take Adams. Let's take him by knockout, even though you have the distance. So interesting there. Could to go the distance, which I like the over. I really hope it doesn't go the distance. I also am not as high on MJ as a lot of other people are. Not high on MJ as a lot of other people are. I gave out to Kai by finish because of what's happening in Japan, but I've been sitting on that fight, and that's one of the closer fights of the weekend, actually. I think Christian Medina is a very live dog. Very live dog. And the things that Takai does bad, inside boxing game, getting pushed and paced and out-pressured, are the things that Medina does well. So the one thing is if Medina performs like he did against Nishida when he went to Japan, and Nishida has no pop, it's going to be a long night for him because he's going to get outstuck from range. So, but with that being said, guys, we are now at an hour. I got to get out of here, y'all. I got to go to this open mat. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys can drop a like on the video, that'd be very grateful. Remember, I still have my prediction for Takai and Christian Medina. It's more of a tape study too. If you're more interested, just listen to my tape study portion and not the prediction portion of it. And then I also have my Inoue Akhmadaliev prediction out as well. I'm thinking if I may drop a small clip video tomorrow, just on my quick clip bets. But, that's just for someone, for the D-gens out there, I guess you could say. With that being said, y'all, it's always love, peace, chicken grease. We'll talk soon, brother. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.